All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to MetiSpaces. We're at Twitter Space. Hey, Lena. We're a Twitter space dedicated to the expansion of the Web3 economy. I'm Kat, your host. This past week, the foundation has been highlighting Nuvo Week, and today we're unlocking the power of Nuvo, a Metis eco node that empowers users with chain-agnostic technology, data exchange, and a reputation framework for project and gamification. Nuvo is revolutionizing the way people own, control, and monetize their data. Also, today we have two of Nuvo's recent partners joining us. First one is NFTopia. A recent with Nuvo, NFTopia is an online meetup in the metaverse where you can network with industry insiders. Sorry for my mumbles. Creators and talent. Attendees can play games, earn prizes, participate in fun events, and get swag, whether crypto or real-life products. And then we also have 𝘝𝘐𝘚𝘐𝘖𝘕, who specializes in providing approachable Web3 education, organizing onboarding, Web3 strategy consulting, NFT design and development, immersive community events, and conference support for individuals and organizations looking to easily integrate Web3 into existing frameworks. Let's please welcome 𝘝𝘗𝘗, Lena, 𝘝𝘗𝘁𝗶𝘀, and Diamond. Please introduce yourselves and tell us what brought you blockchain. 𝘝𝘗𝘗 will start off with.
Sounds good. Hi, everyone. My name is 𝘝𝘗𝘗. So I'm currently the co-founder and CEO here at Nuvo. Absolute pleasure here to be here to speak with everybody here. So I would say that I consider myself who joined the blockchain world quite late. It was around 2028, 29-ish. And actually, my co-founder and CTO at Nuvo here, it was the person who brought me in. So back then we were actually trying to establish a startup. It's around the GameFi topic. But of course, that one did not go well, and that's partly why he was able to join me and have a successful project over there. So myself actually left the industry for close to a year when we actually failed the previous project with Yuan. But then the co-founders and Metis brought me into Metis as one of the founding members to build the product there. And that's when I had the opportunity to really witnessing how this technology itself changed the world and shift the paradigm. And it was absolutely fascinating. And I was absolutely in love with it. And that's why, like, right after that, I just cannot be this industry anymore. I'm very happy that right now I'm building this amazing project over here with my team members. And definitely happy that we're here as well.
Awesome. Thank you, 𝘝𝘗𝘗. We also have Lena here.
Yes, hi. So I'm the head of BD at Nuvo, managing events. And I joined the company in December of last year, December 14th. And I'm super happy to be here. I also have a similar story where I worked in Web2, business development for Web2. And I got into crypto 2017, 2018, and got into Web3 2021. And ever since then, I was just basically like, well, I really want to work at Web3 because I really believe in fundamentals and really passionate about Web3 technology. And I love gamification and games. Really happy to be working at Nuvo and passionate about the product and what it's doing and its vision.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you. I see we have someone from Nuvo as well who's on that side, on that account there. Perhaps they wish to stay silent. We'll move on over to 𝘝𝘗𝘁𝗶𝘀.
Hi, guys. It's early morning for me. I'm out here in California. Hope you guys are having a good morning. So I'm using the NFTopia Twitter, but I go by 𝘝𝘗𝘁𝗶𝘀. Previously, I have been working with Splinter Labs, a Hive blockchain.
𝘝𝘗𝘁𝗶𝘀 speaks.
Sorry, can you hear me? Hello.
I personally can hear you.
You can?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah. Oh, okay, perfect. Sorry, I'm like, we had some of these issues like the other day too.
Okay, I'm not hearing 𝘝𝘗𝘁𝘁𝗶𝘀 under the NFT Topia or under NFTopia speak.
I can leave and come back. Would that help?
Try to, yeah. She's going to try to leave and come back.
Okay. Brickman, you want to take over and then we'll go after you.
Sure. I'm the founder of Consumer Break. It's a mobile game. We actually started in Web2. It's a jigsaw-style puzzle games, and it works together with collab projects. We have sponsored advertisements and other content on the puzzles, and then people solve the puzzles to win stuff, get on a leaderboard. And it made a lot of sense when I was introduced to Web3 and NFTs on how to add more rewards and ways to use this and collaborating. That brought me into the Wax space, the Wax blockchain, which unfolded a full year of collabs with many awesome projects. And I've become a live streamer since too. And now I interview them on Twitch as well on Consumer Break. And then through the past year, that is what got me looking into DigiCon, which is a previous virtual convention by Splinterlands. That's also where I met 𝗝𝘲𝘁𝗶𝘀 𝗙𝘐𝘂. It was a convention that Wax Projects really liked. A whole bunch of projects participated. And when they Splinterlands stopped doing that convention, we took over to kind of to keep it going in our own way. And that's what NFTopia is. And we've had 2 events so far, one in January, one in April. And now we're kicking to do our 3rd one starting tomorrow, this weekend. And we have a whole bunch of stuff planned. Very exciting.
All right. Can you hear me?
I heard
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so as Breakman said from Consumer Break, I had been starting getting into Web3 about 2 years ago. I worked with Splinterlands, a Hive blockchain TCG game, as an event coordinator, and I had been already hosting these type of events up until last year. And around that time was when we started to try to make the shift. And finally, sorry, can you hear like those eyes? It started busy.
It's not distracting.
Okay, perfect. So around last year, a lot of our team was left unemployed, and I decided, you know what, I still want to keep doing these events, but how do I do it? And I created NFTopia alongside Cyber Vandals and Consumer Break. They were immense help in helping in getting this event off the board. You know what I mean? So I actually didn't even believe it would happen until our first event. We had 100 people attend. And it's only going to continue to get bigger from here. And during the second event, that's when we got Nuvo on board and added activities. So this has been a great partnership to have. Sorry about that, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And then Diamond from NFTCLT, go ahead and introduce yourself and what brought you to blockchain.
Hi, I'm so glad to be here today. I'm actually a mechanical engineer. I come from the supply chain, consumer electronic manufacturing industry. But in 2020, I met my co-founder, Tony, who's behind our NFTCLT account below, who already had like a successful digital collectible community. And so being an engineer, I had heard about crypto. I knew about blockchain, had hosted events on campus while I was a student, but I wasn't really tapped in. And when I, found out about NFTs, I kind of had the light bulb aha moment. But coming from the diversity inclusion side of tech and engineering and understanding that you really do have to have community engagement. When I met Tony and we really started getting into this space and trying to figure out what would make this space continue to grow, it was very clear that community engagement and effective, impactful community engagement was kind of something that was a gap that we could support. And so we started with free events in our city of Charlotte that expanded nationally to supporting major brands like Essence, major projects like House of First, Black is Beautiful, with Ja Rule, Miguel's Sick World, and co-collaborating and producing events that were really exciting, engaging, highlighted diverse and underrepresented creators and builders in Web3, and that also kind of seamlessly, covertly introduced the Web3 community to our Web2 world. So it's been really fun partnering with so many different organizations and NFT projects, Nuvo being one of them, because we really love giving user feedback, go testing it out in our communities, the platforms, providing user feedback and helping these platforms develop in a way that actually brings new people into this space and is intuitive for average people to get into Web3 and decentralization. Thanks for having us today. Super, super excited to talk about our collaboration with Nuvo and on the Metis chain, because it is actually the only project that we work with, collaborate with on Metis.
Amazing. Yeah, it's awesome having all you guys here. There's so much that can be done through NFTs, and especially when it comes to user engagement and event management. So it's really great to have you guys on the conversation today. But before we jump into the conversation, for all the listeners here today, we always encourage conversation and want to hear your thoughts. So please tweet your comments during the main run of the show. And then we do have a pretty jam-packed agenda today. So if we have time, we'll open the stage for AMA later at the end of the call. But if not, we'll just stick to the questions in the chat. But I'll keep you updated on that. But all right. So we start with a quick summary of all 3 protocols, Nuvo, NFTopia, and NFTCLT. But let's just dive a little bit deeper, starting with 𝘝𝘐𝘂. So what is the backstory to the conception of Nuvo? And then we'll go from NFTopia and then CLT after that.
Yeah, sounds great. So I would say that at Nuvo here, the problems that we are trying to solve are really two here. The first one is we want to bring the data ownership back to everybody, and second one is to push the blockchain to a mainstream. For the first one, data ownership, when we talk about this one, it's actually difficult to educate people and to let everybody understand. But it's also very important because what happened today is like, for example, everybody knows that Elon Musk recently changed Twitter to X. And they actually just take away the handle from whoever owned it initially without even getting the consent. And things like this happens all the time, that even, for example, in your day-to-day life, you are going to apply for anything. Let's say you apply for a mortgage, you have to actually submit a lot of your personal documentation that you had no idea how the data was going to be handled. So this is a very broad, very big conversation. But if you really want to utilize the Web3 technology to change how the entire world is operating today, it's actually very difficult. And therefore, the second mandate of ours is to push the blockchain to mainstream. To make this happen, that means that we need to come up with some sort of solution that can penetrate to everybody's day-to-day life. So how this can be done after a lot of brainstorming, and if you do follow Nuvo since the beginning of our project starting, you might realize that we actually went through quite a few shifts. And today, we are focusing on the user engagements, because we do realize that by working with players to support and to success, and to make sure that we can increase the user engagement and retention, we will be able to let people start to adopt this technology itself without even knowing it. And at the same time, we can help everybody to grow and to start to absorb a lot of users, even from Web2, to start utilizing and enjoying the Web3 technology.
Awesome, sweet, yeah. And then a lot of cases, we're solving so much with Nuvo. Let's move to NFTopia, either Brickman or 𝘝𝘐𝘗.
Yeah. So in the beginning, what brought NFTopia up was I had been hosting DigiCon in the past, and it kind of evolved from an event where we celebrated the partners of Spinnerlands into a whole full-blown out convention, implementing the blockchains and other projects and many different creators and technology, even from Web 2 into Web 3. And because of how this kind of evolved over time, this kind of made NFTopia being more prevalent. It actually opened up opportunities to work with other people, and where I had the most support was in the Wax community. So that's how NFTopia kind of started its roots, and that's why we have so many Wax projects participating at NFTopia. And you'll see this at the next event too. So that's just a very, very brief summary, but every single event, you're not going to see exactly the same thing, because we're always changing, we're always evolving, and we're always encompassing more people on whether with partnerships or with different projects, a bunch of cool things. And even at this event, we're going to have a talent show, and we're going to have 2 panels for blockchain law and blockchain gaming. We are full on in it, and we want to include way more projects across all blockchains. We want to be as inclusive as possible and give people the opportunity to get to know each other.
Yeah, and she just said, I guess there was a hole that needed to be filled. I guess the Wax community and the projects definitely liked what DigiCon was doing. They were having a convention every 2 months where all the projects got to showcase their stuff, and they would have all these exclusives and things, and it was very hangout focused in the metaverse. And I went to three of these events in a row every 2 months, and every time I would get more and more involved. And then at the very last one in November, I was the most involved, just voluntarily, because I have this collab app and stream. So I kind of, and also I knew a lot of the projects that were there already because of the whole collaborating nature of the Wax. And I organized their events to be back to back. So that was kind of where we incepted what we called the hype train, or the raid train, where we have live streamed interview with all these projects, and we go from booth to booth and stream it. And that worked out really well back in November. And then when we were told that Splinterlands will no longer sponsor it, everyone wanted to continue. Somebody needed to do it to have another event. And where I was already there and hosting the live streams and stuff, I was fully on board. 𝘝𝘐𝘗 was already an organizer, so she was on board. And we just kicked it off with one other person who also helped kind of kickstart the funding, who's also a sponsor here in this event too. but that's kind of what kicked it off. And then as we go, we get more helpers and stuff, and we get feedback, and the event seems to be getting bigger and bigger. So
yeah, that's amazing. Anyone who's been here, who has been to any blockchain or even any Web2 event, we all know that like anyone can throw an event, but a quality event experience is what it's all about. So that's pretty awesome. And then Diamond, what you got going over there?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could expand a little bit on, how we started, and to the point of quality events. I think the first thing is we saw that there wasn't a ton of like outreach to existing communities when it came to like blockchain and getting people onboarded. And there weren't people who were breaking it down like simply and accessibly per people's kind of interests, right? What's beautiful about Charlotte, it's a financial banking city. But, we found that in our free events, we had everyone coming, the bankers, the creators, the artists, all sorts of business owners, right, who were trying to figure out space and how it applied to them. So really speaking the language of the community that you're serving is something that we do well, and that we feel like is something that's required in order to continue to expand the ecosystem. And to the point about, high quality events, I think like curating is an art. Like it's easy to throw a bunch of people together, right, and be like, okay, here's our event, we have some alcohol. I think it's another thing to like set a whole tone and vibe, especially when we talk about inclusivity, right? You got to speak people's language. You have to make people feel comfortable, right? Even where like their level of knowledge of blockchain, right? That was something that was interesting about our events. We had kind of OGs all the way to people who had just heard about us for the first time, watching the news, come to the event to kind of learn more. So, that in itself is really an art. And we've had the privilege of collaborating with so many different organizations who needed support in that area, but that also, many didn't have the resources to bring these type of events to life. I think some of our most exciting ones were at NFTLA. We did an event called House of Sex. Yes, sounds a little taboo, but it was interesting because we brought all of these artists, performers, dancers together, exploring a theme, right? A common theme, but everyone who was a part of the event was building on chain, right? Essence was interesting. We got to collaborate with a Web3 musician, Charm Taylor, who produced that event, and we led their whole Essence University. So think fun, not really classroom, but we gave these like mini talks throughout the day, set up wallets. So, what's interesting is like every event we pilot new ways of, learn to earn models, new ways of engaging that audience depending on, who they are, where they fall, and working with the right tools. We have a whole suite of organizations who have easy onboarding tools, including Nuvo, that allow the participants to engage with the blockchain in like a seamless way, right? I think that's the biggest thing is like, we want it to feel engaging. We don't want to just people just being talked at. We want them actually walking away remembering our events. And I think that's something that we have done really well and are excited to continue to do with our college tour coming up. We really expanded and tried, working with many different organizations, but we really feel like, the collegiates is, a key focus area. They're the future. And those are the students we want to empower with the tool of blockchain. And so we'll be doing a nationwide tour starting at USC in Los Angeles, that's Mater, and going to ASU and have a whole suite of schools in the spring that we will be bringing emerging tech and our favorite organizations and collaborating partners to campus to really start to empower and energize the students around what we've all been working hard to build in this Web3 ecosystem.
I absolutely love that and completely resonate with. Me and Irina both lead MetisFest, and I love what you said. We're not trying to talk at people; we're trying to talk with people. Like that's one of the most important things with all these events is that, we all made it here, but also like everyone deserves a seat at this table, and just providing that, letting people feel wanted, is so important. But okay, let's move a little bit forward. We're going to focus on Nuvo just a little bit for the next few minutes. They have quite a few products within their suite. This includes Nuvo Me, Nuvo ID, and their badges. You guys, also listeners, if you're around, have your phone out, take a screenshot of this Twitter space and DM it to the foundation Twitter, and then you will also be able to claim your badge from Nuvo. But 𝘐𝘐𝘐, can you give us a description of Nuvo's product suite, please?
Yeah, of course. I'm always excited for product talk. Okay. So let me start with Nuvo One. So Nuvo One here is really the the back-end products for any projects that is working with Nuvo. So the mission of Nuvo is to become the world's best customer engagement and loyalty platform that's powered by Web3. So a project that in Nuvo One will be able to quickly come out with a campaign, regardless for events or even for our agendas. Even like, for example, today that we're trying to issue the pages, they'll be able to go in there and self-manage and able to deal with everything. And then for the Nuvo itself, we want to make it to become the world's best Web3 rewards protocol. So basically, it's a product meant for every end users to use. We are actually in the final stage to launch our mobile apps. They will be available in both iOS and Android. What this does is it will become a decentralized ID for everybody who owns these apps. And they will be able to use that app to start collecting those Nuvo pages or interact with others, even explore the other communities, and really to thrive in the entire community space with everybody. And lastly, we also have Nuvo Wallet here. That's the world's best rewards wallet, I would say. That's powered by Nuvo Me itself. So you can actually find the Nuvo Wallet directly in the Nuvo Me mobile apps. So like, consider the entire app itself is like an engagement, allow you to socialize, and at the same time, it's also a wallet that you can use to send transactions or receive transactions for everybody else. So with all these products together, we are really trying to onboard at least more than 100 million users to Web3. Really by being the world's best Web3 acquisition and retention solutions. And of course, it has to be powered by the privacy-preserving and decentralized digital IDs, which is our Nuvo ID, the mention. So anybody who actually register at Nuvo, they will be able to get a Nuvo ID associated with the account. So this is their decentralized ID where it will store all the data that they ever interact with others on chain. And they will be able to bring that along with them. And in the future, they will be able to add even more personal physical IDs on Nuvo ID and just use it without actually disclosing their data. So that's basically our entire product suite.
Amazing. Cool. And then also, so with this, we've seen a lot of data credentialing platforms kind of pop up within the past year. 𝘗𝘗, what sets Nuvo apart from its competitors?
So I would say that we are definitely not the regular data credentialing platform, because we kind of touch on this a lot of times that we are talking about the engagement and retention for the users for the projects. So how we achieve this is apart from the regular SoFi tokens that other projects are issuing, our pages actually comes with different labels and the reputation power score itself, as well as the leader scores. So with these scamming mechanisms, the users, members will be able to actually wanting to engage more to participate and finish all the quests that's given to them in order to level up and gain low reputation for score that can represent their engagement level with specific projects. And therefore, we can actually foster a better and more positive community members interactions.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And then for everybody, so Nuvo is this amazing platform that caters to so many use cases, but for NFTopia, sorry, I keep on saying that wrong, and NFTCLT, what have you guys observed within your market audience? Why do you think that there's such a huge use case for this kind of platform?
I can chime in on this one. I think, when we first started, like, the idea of like gamification and learn to earn is such a powerful tool to get people like engaged and really excited. And so, I have been looking for a platform like this that was with continuous engagement. We were using Web2 platforms before, to do quizzes and trivia and all these other different things during our events, but there was no way to like reward it. Like there just wasn't that mechanism yet. That was like easy platform to get on where we could constantly like have quests and engage and see who was really participating and really interested about this space. So that's one reason why I was very eager. I had met Lena at ETH Denver, and when I saw the platform, I was like, oh, this is what I had even been encouraging some of my other organizations that I had worked with who had like onboarding NFTs and things like that, but they didn't have a mechanism like the reward system, Nuvo was proposing. And so it was kind of a no-brainer for me where I was like, I definitely need to use this. Especially, now that we're coming to formalizing around the college tour and with students, like, the e-gaming culture, at least I come from an engineering school. So everybody was gaming, everybody was very tuned to like their digital platforms. And so I think like, there's a hunger for like people to participate in a genuine way, and people like, being rewarded for contributing. People like that like support and reinforcement, especially when you're learning a new skill. And then that's just kind of one of the reasons why I'm been, drawn to the product that they've been building. And I've definitely been seeing, the evolution, for the last few months since 𝗏𝘗𝘗. And that's really exciting too, to see, a platform take feedback, because we do work with the community all of the time. We're throwing events, so we're constantly understanding the pain points. And I think they've been really awesome about like receiving that feedback and, making a platform even better. And now they have a whole event ticketing platform that's coming out. So, just like even the integration of the two pieces, right, is very powerful, because people don't want to be going to a whole bunch of different platforms, right? They want to go to one thing, have it intuitive, easy, where they feel comfortable with it. So yeah, that's just kind of a little bit of why we felt like a partnership with Nuvo was the perfect solution for the communities and the engagement we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, you're totally right. There's I worked with the Nuvo team for a little bit of time last year and the beginning of this year, and what I love about them is they are always willing to hear feedback and update and move forward and really just like push for easy usability. And that's what everything's about, is easy user experience, right? So, and then let's hear from NFTopia as well. What have you observed within your market audience?
Sure. I think the first time I heard about Nuvo was at East Denver, and they had a platform where they had the leadership board and reputation points, and offered to have QR codes at different booths so that engagement be measured. And this was something I felt like, wow, this is something that I could really use for NFTopia. And how we used their platform is that we had QR codes that were situated within slides of different exhibitors. And everybody who visited these exhibits would land up on the leaderboard and prove to everybody else that they were visiting each booth, gathering these points. And in between gathering these points, they also get a chance to learn about each individual project that was represented at the event. So a lot of people enjoyed searching, like going on a scavenger hunt, trying to make sure they catch all of the reputation points. And we also had exhibitors finding that there are many people starting to visit their booth at many different hours of the day, trying to look for these codes. And the other thing is creating a profile in Nuvo doesn't exactly look like your traditional, like, I don't want to say traditional because Web3 is always changing, but, it's not a scary process is what I'm trying to say, because many people are used to, like, having to set up a wallet, having to set up the secret passphrase, and all these other things that feel kind of foreign at the beginning. But once you kind of get into it, you'll start to get more comfortable. And I think what's important is making people comfortable, kind of like what Diamond said earlier too.
Yeah, I'd like to add on to that. So similar to what you both said, here in our conventions, our attendees, we have a lot of activities for them, and they like to collect and they like to show off what they have, and we reward them with badges and things already. So this is like another thing to add. The people like to collect the points. They like to see them go up on the leaderboard, and then especially if there's a reward at the end for doing it, that's more than just bragging rights. So we've used the Nuvo codes. We're still experimenting. We only started last April. We will use them again this weekend. There could be other uses too. We've not used it for ticketing because our events are just free. Most all of our users are also Wax people, so we're trying to like not use other chains too much. But Nuvo's account worked well enough. People were able to create their wallets there using their method that they have without doing the key phrase, and they're able to at least give it a shot there, and they're able to see the leaderboard. And then afterwards, after the whole event is over, we added the extra utility of giving our attendees Wax badges, Wax NFT badges based on whatever they earn. So that way they still earn, it's still their actual NFT they have in their Nuvo, but then they also have their Wax NFT depending on what points they earn. And the way we have it set up is, like 𝗏𝘗𝘗 𝗙𝘐𝘗 said, that the point or the codes, they just go in booth slides, It's so it's an incentive for people to go look at slides. So that makes it an offering for the sponsors. So it's and last time in April we gave it to every booth to try it out, and that was quite a lot of codes. Shout outs to the people that still went and scanned 100 codes or whatever. Great. But this time there'll be less, and it was a paid add-on. So there's actually some exhibitors that paid a little extra for their package to get a unique code, a unique URL link that they put into their slides. And then we're going to showcase up front at the welcome area which booths have their codes and to go find them. And then people can go do that. And in so doing, they're learning about the projects and proving that they were there by scanning the code. That's like reputation points. And then there's even levels. So this time we're going to have 25 points, and every 5 points will upgrade your badge to a new level. So there's actually 5 levels to get. And then at the end of the weekend, that's how many badges you'll get too. So the people that make it all the way to the top will get actually 5 badges in their wallet. We're also keeping them non-transferable. So that's the only way to get these wax badges that we have. And then we can add utility on top of that from our collection, which is how we do. So another great thing just about blockchain NFTs, our NFTopia uses a wax collection. We have our own collection. We use NFTs for badges and giveaways, all sorts of things, and we're able to add utility for that. And it just makes it so seamless for people to collect and be able to get their rewards and prove who they are and all that kind of stuff just with their assets. And that's it.
Yeah, it's really amazing how like you can like just kind of like use these, I mean, we'll just talk about Nuvo for right now, but like use Nuvo's platform to really start to like get rewarded and be appreciated for events and everything in between. It's honestly a beautiful thing, Carrie. So glad that you're working on this. And then we also have, like, since we have NFTopia and NFT CLT, who are recent partners, I'd like to hear from like Carrie, Brakeman, Boffin Kitty, and Diane. We'll just open the mic to all, I think that's 5 of you. What was the process of partnering with Nuvo? Like, what was the experience like? What benefits of integrating, and how it really helps the everything's about the end user. So let's open it up. Who wants to start first? Or I'm gonna call on you.
I'll go ahead. So we were working with Lena, yeah, and whenever we have, so we're just in the Telegram. So whenever we have issues, we relay it to her. She relays it to the team. They get back to us. So the communication is pretty good there. But like I said, we're still kind of experimenting. So as far as how we use it, and I'm sure their platform is also improving a lot. They were going to work on an app and different things. There's a lot of things in the future as well. So we take all that as it comes. But yeah, that's how communication and working together is good. And then we take the feedback from the attendees and how everything went, and we'll just keep it going one event at a time. So we did a lot. We had a lot of codes last April, so we changed things a little bit for this time. We'll see how it goes, and we'll keep going from there. There's also ideas, because in these events we can give these codes out in any way. So currently it's only codes that are going in slides, but we can use them to reward people for being there at specific events or for doing specific tasks. We already do that right now in Wax using our badges. So it's essentially the same, but without points. We actually reward people with NFTs based on all these types of tasks. But then using Nuvo, it adds another gamification element by having the points and the leaderboard and the levels on there. So it goes just further in than just the actual reward NFT.
Right, yeah. I think just the communication with Lena has been amazing. She's always on top of it, and making sure she kind of lights fire under anybody's butts to be like, hey, we got to do this, or let's talk about this, or let's talk about these ideas. What can we do with it? I think just having that kind of communication is key into just developing something cool that people can experience.
Yeah, for us, like I mentioned, I had the pleasure of meeting Lena in person, and I mean that's just kind of my ethos. Before I do partnerships, I'm really big on like making sure we're aligned, like the energy is right, like we have the same goals. So we have been talking for a while, and I even made sure, when I was out in Phoenix working with my co-founder on another project, to spend time, with Lena and just really exploring the possibilities. I think that's the cool thing, is like we're not just trying to rush to do something, but do something, execute very well. And Lena makes sure that our needs are met. When they need support, I make sure that
we can support them too, like coming to this space, because I really do appreciate, what they're building. So it's been fairly seamless. We mostly use Telegram, to connect, and we, make sure to keep up on weekly calls and engaging, just to make sure, we always are making progress on something. I think that's really important to see. Like, it never goes too long without touching base and, having clear action items, to move forward. So I think, and just if I were to advise, I know we have some projects in here that could benefit from using, a platform like this. The team really does consider, how your community is going to be using it. And even, like the events part, that was something early on we were talking about, how we're using it. And it was cool to see a few months later, again, that feedback was actually taken into consideration. They had a whole events platform, that they have been working on and building too. So it's been really beautiful, having a personal touch, not having to deal with robots or, even some of these platforms, right? You may not even know who's behind it, who's working on it as a team, because it's, all digital. And I really like the fact that there is like a personal touch, and it really feels like we're genuinely working together to support their products, and then for us, for them to support our community.
Yeah, it's honestly, this is just like a thought of my mind. I don't know how Carrie and Lena do it. Lena is an absolute powerhouse. Lena, if you're here, oh, I do all this.
Absolutely all over.
Oh yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Diamond and NFTopia, for the kind words. Yeah, I'm sales through and through, BD through and through, and I love just like helping people reach their goals, right? And my motto has always been, my client's success is my success. So I try my best to just, see what their roadmap is, see what they need, and see if I can in any way help them with anything. So it's been easy, I guess, coming from that philosophy to help others. Help my clients, like Diamond and Consumer Break and Waffles Kitty. And I really value also that personal touch and communication. Those are like super important to me. I want to make my clients feel like, I care about them. And I do care about them. So I really thank you guys for the comments, and that really made my day.
Of course. Yeah, you totally deserve it. You totally deserve it. Carrie, love to hear from the lady in the chair, the lady up top. How's everything been in the process partnering with all these protocols, and just the overall view of a CEO of Nuvo?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely been amazing, and really appreciate that all of you here are supporting us and willing to give us the opportunity to work together. And definitely happy to hear that the fact that Nina working with you was absolutely a smooth process, and make sure that our team has been listening to the needs of your projects and make sure that we deliver. So definitely very happy to hear this. And to make the onboarding process even easier for any future projects, we recently come up with a very quick landing page. It's a very short form, and everybody here can easily just go to nuvosphere.io and click the integration tab, and be able to easily be onboarded within seconds. You'll be able to just go through the form process and create a new Nuvo One account very quickly, and able to get in touch with one of our BDs, such as Dina or Ian here. And they will be able to pop on a call with you right away, and then have a very thorough onboarding call to understand your requirements, your pain points, and make sure we customize our solutions for all of you. So that's pretty much it.
Carrie, is there any sort of limitation to integrating or creating your community within Nuvo?
I would say no. We are really here to support everybody to success. So regardless of your project, small or large, we are all happy to working with you.
Amazing. So guys, everyone who's listening, remember, go to nuvosphere.io and go check it out. Build your community. And if you already have a project starting, definitely click that integration tab. And I'm actually pretty surprised we're coming almost to the end of the show. I just wanted to kind of open up the announcements from Nuvo and NFTopia and CLT of NFTopia. Sorry, I keep on saying that wrong. There's actually an event taking place this weekend. Breakman or Waffles Kitty, would you like to kind of expand on it? How people can get involved and what to expect?
Yeah, so I can't believe it's tomorrow. So starting from Friday, tomorrow the 28th to the 30th on Sunday, open 24 hours for each day, with programming happening throughout each day. Probably, let's say, was it like 10 hours break plan each day?
Oh, something like that.
Yeah, because our son was 14 and we're like, wait a minute, we got to calm down. We got to leave some space.
Well, the schedule is some like 15 hours, but then there's 3 hours that we're calling social blocks, so it's not centered around the stream. What she's talking about is we have the hype train, so you can see the whole schedule on the inverse page where you can enter the place, and that link is at bit.ly/NFTopia3, which is also on the main website. And so there you'll see that there's hourly events the whole weekend, and they start tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, and every hour we'll have what we call AMA interviews, and the project will just present with a screen share view, and we gather around in their booth, and we'll do a giveaway, and and they'll answer any questions we have and things, and then when the hour hits, we'll move on to the next one. So we do numerous hours of that, and then we'll have some overviews of our activities, because all the badges and things we talked about, the achievement badges and all those things, the Nuvo badges. So we'll have some time to explain all that to where people know that they can do things to space. Then we'll have social blocks where it's 3 hours without an actual stream that we're focused on, but there's going to be a lot of streams happening. Anyway, we're trying to really embrace this the streamer culture with Wax and get it all out there. So even people that aren't in the space itself or can't make it, they're still watching on Twitch all of our shows and our content, which is definitely happening in both of our past events. There's more viewers than there are people in the space. So it's great we're able to do that. And then some shows as well. So at the end of tomorrow, we're having NFtopia's Got Talent. We have numerous contestants that are going to be performing live, kind of like on stage, but right there in the metaverse. So they'll just get right on cam and do their talent on cam for us to watch. There'll be some judges and scores as well. They got prizes they can win. Saturday, we'll have another day full of similar things, AMA events hourly. In the middle of the day, we have keynote speakers and some panels with some really smart people in those topics, and interesting to learn about there. Another social block, another round of the talent show, because there's more contestants to show Saturday night. And then on Sunday, even more, we'll rapid fire AMAs. Instead of hourly, it's every 20 minutes. We're just going to go from one booth to the next, doing some quicker presentations, quicker versions, and running through them. And then also in the middle of the day, there's a game show. It's on Twitch too. It's another Twitch streamer. His name's BD_AO is his channel. And the game show is called Devil's Advocate, where there's 3 contestants and I'm one of them. Two of the others are also exhibitors of ours, which is great. And we're going to defend weird topics, debate style. It's very funny. Waffles Kitty did it last month, so that's going to be a part of this one as well. And then we keep going. More AMA events. We hang out at the end of the weekend at the fishing pond, which is kind of like a cornerstone of how we do it now. We love the fishing pond. But then also with that, all those activities and events, there's also NFT stuff happening all through it. This is NFTopia, so all of these sponsors, these exhibitors have their own things going on, drops and giveaways. And we have this huge collab blend is what it's called, where because on Wax, you're able to do all these drops and you're able to have packs and blends, and you can combine NFTs to get different ones. You can do that cross collection. So that's what we do. We have 20 different collections participating where they're dropping a piece, and it's this style, the theme of it is a treasure map this time. So each collection has a map, and they arted it all up themselves. They're going to drop it in their own collection hourly, and then live on stream too. We check it all out and we'll buy the drops. And then at the end of the weekend, you can blend all 20 into the complete treasure map. And then that has utility. You can get a treasure chest pack from that. And you got all sorts of things just crammed in here.
And then how much swag do we have again?
If you're not in the Wax blockchain, you might not be as familiar with all the type things like packs, blends, and all that, and the community in general. But yeah, even anybody that's outside can come in and really see what's going. It's very, very engaging and awesome community that's doing all of it.
I think we have like over 1,000 in our giveaway for the swag booth, right?
Oh yeah, more than that. All these projects, they donate NFTs as well to what we call the swag giveaway. It's this huge giveaway using the bounty block tool from Wax, or that works on Wax. And we're able to create contests where you can like follow on socials, and you can hold NFTs as well to enter. And we have this thing loaded up with like 1,300 NFTs from different projects, just all sorts of things to win just for coming in there and entering it.
Yeah. On top of that, first event we had maybe 40 sponsors. Next event at close to 50 sponsors. Now we're at over 80 sponsors here exhibiting at the event.
We have 82 sponsors lined out in 7 different halls. So that doubles what we had in the exhibitor since January. So very exciting. We don't know how many attendees there will be till the end of the weekend, but Wax community is definitely pumped, and we hope to see people from other chains and other places come too.
Well, that's awesome. If for anyone who's listening here, is there any way, like, where do people join this your Wax community? How can we get more people in there?
How do we get more people to Wax, the blockchain? Well, if anybody's interested, you can follow a lot of different accounts about it. Follow Wax blockchain and start getting into it. It's very user friendly. And if you have any questions, you can always ask us. In fact, at NFTopia, we're making it kind of a point to help new creators. We even are hosting what we call NFTopia School. It's a set of educational seminars for creators. And so anybody in there that wants to get a wallet, it's easy. You just do it with an account and you can get right started. But as far as like to get into the convention and stuff, just go to our website. The links are there. You can pop right in and look at everything. All the booths will be populated by tomorrow.
Okay, awesome, cool. Yeah, and if anyone needs a quick fact, the link to the NFTopia website in the comments. And then also any other updates or announcements from Nuvo or from NFTCLT?
Yeah, I'll definitely wanted to talk about our upcoming college tour, Y3K Innovation Summit. We are looking for sponsors, collaborating partners. We want to bring the most reputable projects on campus, things that will really engage the students.
Got a few things happening. This is a emerging technology event, so not just focused on blockchain. September 16th is our first event. Our focus areas are digital content creation, VR, AR, of course, blockchain, AI, and e-gaming. So if any of those things are of interest to you, you would want to teach a workshop, there is a stipend, or you want to sponsor, you want your project or organization to really be, a pillar of this event and on college campus. Feel free. I just commented underneath this, but if I can, I'll pin it up at top. Our website that you can read more about. Nuvo is going to be playing a big piece in this event where all of our attendees IRL and virtually, there will be some virtual components. We'll get to earn RP for all of the different activations that they're attending and for connecting with our industry leaders. And so I think this is going to be a really fun event. If you've ever been to an NFTCLT event, the vibes are immaculate. That's one thing we pride ourselves on, is curating really the best artists, the best projects. This is a very cultural forward event, because we are on college campus and they are the trendsetters. And so if you're interested in supporting this event, please DM me or fill out the survey that's at the end of our website.
Would love to learn more about you, Diamond. You are amazing and really love what you guys have going on over there. Web3 education is something I really needed when I first started. So so I'm glad that you're building the community around this, and that's one of the reasons why I got into the Wax community, and that's why I have so much support over here. It's because of people like you providing resources so people can strategize how they can best build their own mark in the Web3 territory.
Yes, I definitely want to talk to you more too, because we actually haven't done a lot with Wax in our community, and even like working with Nuvo and Metis is something we're really excited about, because we do want to show the whole breadth of the ecosystem. So yes, ready to bring Wax on campus if you are.
Definitely.
Awesome. I love the collaborators. And then lastly, Karia or Elena, I know a few updates for Nuvo. Did you want to mention any of them? I know that we kind of mentioned them in the call, but let's reiterate.
Yeah, I feel like everybody here has helped to mention quite a little bit. Lina, would you like to take this one?
Yeah. So couple updates are, we have a lot going on with our product. For example, I think it was mentioned earlier that we have a ticketing platform coming out. That's probably going to be pushed out any day now, any minute now. And we are super excited to finally launch that, as many clients are super excited to try it out, and we're super excited to push that out. Along with that, a couple months later, we are going to we're going to have the mobile app version of that also coming out soon, and that's going to be just reiterated throughout the next few months as well, including a light and dark theme. So that's really cool. Other news about the product, the Nuvo Me product is also going to be relaunched with a new mobile app as well. So that will be in the coming months as well. But the most exciting thing is the ticketing platform. And, we're super excited, and I'm super excited to be bringing that to my clients as well. And we have a couple of partnerships going on. As mentioned, we have the NFTopia event starting tomorrow that Nuvo is a part of, as well as the 𝘝𝗐𝘂 college tour that we are partnering up with NFTCLT, with Diamond here, who I've been working closely to kind of brainstorm on quests and badges and all of that. Next up is also that we have a partnership with Breathe conference that's happening in Las Vegas in September 13th to 15th in real life, and that's going to be in Las Vegas. I'm really super excited about that because that's pretty much our first large event that we will be doing Nuvo activation for during the event. So, look out for updates on that. So that's kind of the short-term updates that we have.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you guys so much for your updates. And then also, just as a reminder to everyone, we're about to open the floor to a few questions from the listeners. But before we start that, just a reminder that please take a screenshot, show that you were here in the space. Do it now. You can DM it to us or comment it here in the Twitter space thread, and we'll do and send over your badge to claim from Nuvo. But awesome, cool. Anyone who has a question, wants to talk to our speakers, please go ahead, request to speak, and we'll put you on. And I'll give you guys a minute to do that. I wish I knew how to play music while I was doing this. I'm still learning the Twitter spaces, but yeah. If anyone has a question, go ahead and request to speak. All right. I don't think anyone has a question. Oh wait, I lied. I'm putting you on just 1 second, 𝗍𝘂. All right, 𝗔𝘐𝘂, you're on. Go ahead and unmute your mic and speak your thoughts.
My question is there any plans for Nuvo to release a web application like for mobile users, more user friendly, so that someone can just do what they want to do on the go?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
When does Nuvo plan on releasing a web app for mobile so it can make the whole process easier for web users?
Oh yeah, so we already have the web app. I mean, the web app, you mean? Well, there's a web version.
Mobile app, like.
Yeah, mobile app is coming up, like I said. So the ticketing platform is coming out any day now, any week now. And then accompanied by that, there will be a simple mobile app soon, like maybe in August sometime. So mobile app for ticketing platform, that's coming out in August. And then in kind of like September time frame, we will have the mobile app for Nuvo Me, which is the user end. So users will be able to use the mobile app for engagements and everything around September-October time frame.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah, thanks for the questions. Good question.
Awesome. Thank you, 𝗔𝘂. If anyone else has a question, go ahead and request to speak. Otherwise, we can close the show.
Looks like we're good, huh?
Yeah, looks like we're good. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for listening. It was a pleasure having all of our speakers here. Again, I'm Kat from MetisSpaces Foundation. We have Waffle Kitties from NFTopia, Breakman from NFTopia as well. Lena and Karia was just here from Nuvo, and then we also have Diamond from NFTCLT. So be sure to check out everyone's websites, follow us all on Twitter, and then everyone have a great, wonderful day. Thank you guys so much for joining.
Thank you guys. And
You're amazing, Kat. Thanks for organizing as well.
Thanks for being here, guys. All right. Have a great one, guys. Thank you so much.